My name is Jill Greenbaum, and parents often ask me, what's the difference between a guidance counselor and a coach? And that's a question near and dear to my heart. Counselors can help your teen create an initial list of colleges, understand the requirements for completing the application, doing the testing and all of those pieces, send in your teen's transcripts to the various colleges, and help get letters of recommendations or make suggestions around that. Actually, coaches and guidance counselors' roles are often very complementary. In my coaching with teens, and coaches do work in a variety of ways, but when I work with teens, I focus on where the teen is in the process. And meaning, in that college search and selection process, what do they know, where are they now, and where do they need to go? Coaches ask lots of questions. They provide structure, support, and challenge teens to rise to the occasion and do their best work, because coaching can be a truly transformational process. Specifically, as coaches, we discover teens' strengths, identify their challenges, support them in figuring out which environments, academic and social, will enable them to do their best work. We also help teens manage the process of sifting and sorting through the overwhelming amount of material that shows up in their inbox and their mailbox. We might help teens plan their visits to college, prepare for interviews, and also help them find resources that will enable them to do a lot of work on their own. We listen to teens' concerns and celebrate their progress, whether we're working with teens one-on-one or in groups. One critical differentiator between coaches and advisors is that coaching is a partnership, and you've probably heard that already in the things that I've said. And that partnership means that teens who are ready to step into the responsibility for themselves and take over this process do well in coaching. Those who aren't ready to commit to themselves will not fare as well with this approach. Honestly, guidance counselors don't have the luxuries that coaches do. A recent report said that an average guidance counselor to student ratio across the United States is 1 to 457. I wonder if you found the time to talk with your teen about the relationship he has with a guidance counselor. And have you focused on what's working in that relationship, what could be going better? And if you haven't had the chance to ask those kinds of questions, now's a good time, because you need to discuss those key points with your teen to check in and make sure if she's getting the most of the limited time that your teen probably has to spend with a guidance counselor. I have to say I started thinking about this topic because I'm coaching 3 teens who are working to understand the whole college search and selection process. They have a packet from their guidance counselor, and until I started working with them, they thought that filling out the packet was really all that needed to be done in terms of applying to colleges. And so that meant transcripts, resumes, application, and letters of recommendations. And so because they had that packet in front of them, that's where their concentration lay. And so I helped them see that in addition to doing their homework and their projects and their chores at home and their social life and the paperwork, they had some other thinking to do. They had to think beyond what was presented to them. So don't get me wrong, paperwork is important. But to me, the process is so much more about how did your teen come to the decisions about what's being written on the paperwork? And what isn't even part of that process, and that's the soul searching and the researching. In my interest to learn more about what guidance counselors are doing and how to work with them more effectively and efficiently, I did some research, and I think that teens and their parents need to know enough about the college search and selection process to advocate for what teens need within the school setting. It's also a way for your teen to feel more in charge of what she's doing rather than just waiting to be told what to do next and being in a position of a follower rather than a leader. So, what are some tips for teens so they can develop great relationships with guidance counselors in the time that they have? Learn the work of the guidance counselor. Get a clear picture of what they will help you do. Learn your role and be responsible for your college search. Own it. Think of the guidance counselor as your partner in the process to the best of your ability. Be organized. Get and stay that way to make everything easier. Be respectful of their time, be prepared for appointments, and get work done in advance of all the deadlines. And those steps will help you have a better relationship with your guidance counselor. And remember, When your teen wants a little more support, there are resources in the community, meaning books in the library, resources online, and yet, if your teen wants even more than that and needs a little shepherding through the process, meaning learning what it's all about, stepping into responsibility, and partnering with a coach, then it's time to reach out for those kinds of resources. Come to my website, www.majorinu.com, for more answers to the questions I hear from parents and teens. See you in the next video.